Welcome to Dollars and Sense Tonight. I'm Timothy, and tonight we have with us Lou. Lou is a big advocate of the CPF system from my understanding, and today he's sharing with us this really unique concept he calls 1M65. How an average Singaporean can make $1 million by age 65 just by using CPF. Lou, firstly, I'd like to welcome you to our show.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for inviting. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And I'll just go straight to the point. What do you mean by 1M65?
1M65 means $1 million by 65 years old. The investment strategy is actually quite simple. The husband and wife, as young as possible, top up their special account in their CPF. And if you have something around 130,000 or so in each of account, the power of compounding will run and build up both accounts. By the time you retire at 65 years old, both of you all will have $1 million.
So when you're saying 130,000, allow it to compound, that's from what age?
Yeah. So roughly speaking, and you don't need to be precise in this,
Sure.
we're talking about maybe late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
Now I understand it's very difficult, don't get me wrong. In today's context, to save $100,000 is quite difficult. But if you can do it, okay, the mathematics of it is that you will reach $1 million.
So I think in the idea of compound interest and starting early, it essentially means start saving from a very early age, allow that money you have set aside in your CPF SA to compound over the next 20, 30 years or so at 4 to 5% risk-free interest. And then once you have done that, then you can sort of start enjoying your life more with knowing that you have that safety net at age 65 either way, right?
So essentially is to invest as early as possible in your special account and your Medisave account and just let it run and don't touch. You'll become rich very easily.
If it's so easy as what you say, what is your view on why do you think more Singaporeans are not employing this strategy?
Okay.
Perhaps is it because that maybe, and I'm speaking from someone who just have a kid, just bought his HDB flat 2-3 years ago, and at age 30 there's a lot of things we need in our lives, right? We need to buy a home. We are new in our jobs. We're starting a family. So the idea of putting aside more money into a CPF system when we are already contributing into it on a monthly basis from our own employer's contribution, that seems a little bit contradictory to what some people may feel.
There are a lot of complexities into it, and I think we have engaged CPF long enough. They really realized that, and they're doing a lot to simplify things. I think over the last few years, much have changed.
Yep.
I think the first culprit is actually the government themselves.
The government themselves.
Yes, because I think the marketing of CPF is not as great as what we should do, because there's just too much policies and complexities in CPF, and people just don't understand, just don't understand how to make use of it well, right? It's such a good thing, but not well represented. So people actually couldn't take advantage of it because by just sheer lack of knowledge that
Because
they didn't.
because it's too complicated.
Because it's too complicated. Where I'm coming from is this, that why people are not taking advantage of it, there are many reasons. Number one reason is probably a lack of knowledge. But let me just go to the second reason, right? Because it's one direction. In the Hokkien we say kiang ka lao jiu.
You can put money in, but you can't.
Correct.
Put money out.
If you go to a website before you transfer, they will not have fine prints coming out. There are big words coming out. Beware. You do this, you don't ever regret for the rest of your life. Okay, it's one. Now, who is not? Everybody will be scared of this, right?
Yeah.
So all these factors are actually deterring some people. But the truth of the matter is that if you were to take that leap of faith, then you'll become wealthy, right? But the third reason is there are alternatives to getting rich other than 1M65 in the past. The single biggest one that always attracts people is property.
Yep.
And the property market has been running for the last 30 years like astronomically high, right? So that's why people say that, no, I want to keep money from CPF to buy a house so that I'll get rich.
That's fair.
Right? So some of these alternatives have happened. I think in the recent decade, property as investment has gone down in attractiveness. And that's why more and more people begin to realize that maybe 1M65 is a it's one of the better ways of investing.
So I guess with sufficient education going forward, and if people were to really understand the CPF system in a holistic, wholesome manner, then perhaps more people will come to the realization that, hey, if I'm a risk-averse investor, if I don't want to take risk, if I want an attractive risk-free return of between 4 to 5%, then maybe, you know what, CPF could be the solution for me. I think just to add on, what are your thoughts? And I just want to come to putting your money into the CPF account or topping up your CPF account versus taking the same amount of money and investing in the stock market. Which one should people consider, and how do you come to that?
The 1M65 investment strategy doesn't stop at just CPF.
Okay.
And while it looks like a CPF only policy, is not. The investment strategy that I've always preached is, number one, form a financial safety net first. And the financial safety net is formed by topping up your special account and your Medisave account and let it run to $1 million, with the knowledge that now you have $1 million that's coming. Then you go and try out at the stock market. You need an emotional stabilizer for your financial emotions. And what I discovered is that once you have a 1M65 build up, then your emotional stability in investment will be there. So when the market crash, you will be more natural that you go and buy at a low.
Okay.
And market rises, you have the sanity not to go and chong with the rest of people, but to sell when it's high.
Okay. So basically you're saying that with that safety net behind you, knowing that your retirement plan is already set in place, you are able to make more rational, logical decisions when it comes to investing in stocks.
Exactly. You're a smart man, right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Lou.
Yeah.
And we come to the end of today's show. If you guys want to ask Lou more questions, you agree or disagree with him, feel free to drop a comment on our Facebook section.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.